Morning and welcome to Johnson's Garden Center. We're going to talk today about a fun winter gardening hobby project that you can do at home. It doesn't cost a whole lot, but what you're going to reap from this is going to be enormous. And if you're not on, if you don't get our e-news, you need to go to johnsonsgarden.com and sign up for the e-news, or you can get it on Facebook also. But I talk today about, it goes out every Wednesday. I talk today about how good fresh herbs are. And I've always said that fresh herbs are better, but I had an abundance of basil this year, and so I had a dehydrator, so I dehydrated basil at home and started using that in marinara sauce, and oh my gosh, it was so good. Well, then I went up into the greenhouse and I trimmed different herbs that were out for sale. I was helping the staff grow those, but one of them that I thought was amazing was cilantro. Fresh cilantro. Some people don't like cilantro, but I love cilantro, and so I dried some cilantro, and it takes quite a few trimmings to make much because it's such a fine leaf, unlike basil. But it was so good, and I ran out of it, so I bought some from a local source here in town, some dried cilantro, and there was no taste to it at all. But while I dehydrated at home, it was so good. And I went on YouTube, and you search it out, and on my dehydrator you can set the temperatures, and it seems like 190 is the ideal temperature for drying, dehydrating herbs, where I think a lot of the commercial dehydrators will dehydrate it at a higher temperature. It dehydrates faster, but it burns the oils off.
Ah, okay.
You ever had dried cilantro?
Well, so every time that I've planted cilantro, the rabbits have just gone crazy, and I've never gotten enough to really do anything with it beyond just
Well, then you can come
sprinkles.
help me trim in the greenhouse, Leslie. How's that?
Well, maybe I should get a Nano Dome and grow my own.
I think we're going to talk about seed starting. I kind of got off on a tangent there. We're going to talk about seed starting inside, and the thing about growing herbs, you can do it 12 months out of the year. And I guess I'm referring to culinary herbs, things that you can consume. But there's lavender, there's rosemary, I guess is a culinary herb. But there are herbs that are
Aromatics, kind of?
aromatic, medicinal, or whatever, but aromatic, that you can grow and start as well. But we also have a lot of starts in the greenhouse of a lot of them. But we're going to talk today about, well, we've got right here, we've got one of our seed racks in, and this is all seed for 2021. We got it in this fall. It's fresh seed, but it's got 2.5 rows of herbs. There's cole crops, which once you get your herbs up and growing, you're gonna go to broccoli, cabbage, Brussels sprouts, kale, then into lettuce. You could do lettuce now also, but there's butter crunch, a salad blend, Swiss chard in several different varieties. So we have one of our seed racks in, the other ones will be in very, very shortly. So anyway, they're herbs you can start inside, and we're going to start some here right now with, it's called the Nano Dome. And the Nano Dome really is a great way to get you started in starting seeds. And what it comes with the dome, which is a pretty integral part of the system. You get your own pots that you prefer, which size. You may want to start in larger pots. We're going to start in these 72s. There's instructions, but I don't know.
You're not gonna read the instructions, Marty?
I think we can do
I
it
think
without
we've
the
done this for a few years.
instructions.
I would read the instructions myself.
Probably a good idea too. Well, what's this? Oh, maybe we should. At least we'll look at it. Well, this is the cord.
Okay. For the light. Because it has a light.
It has a light. And the thing about the light, well, so the Nano Dome goes over the top of it, like this. And then the light goes on top of it. You plug it in. But the thing I like about the Nano Dome, you can sit two of them side by side and lay them this way.
Oh, yeah.
Or and with that, you can plug them into series.
You could have a whole farm.
You can have a whole farm. We're going to show you something else in a little bit. So you can plug this into there, or you can have them in a row. It has a high output. It's from Sunblaster, and they specialize in indoor lighting and products for indoor gardening. So we're gonna do this here. Get it going. Talk about some of the. So we're going to. This is a 72 cell. And it's important that you use a seeds and cutting starter or seed starting media.
How come?
Well, I'm glad you asked. This is like what we use, Fertilome. You get this from Fertilome, and it's a very, very fine media.
Oh, it's not like my regular potting soil.
It's not like your regular potting soil, and we're not gonna call it soil. It's mix. There's no soil or dirt.
It's very fluffy.
It's very light. The plant's root or the seeds grow into it.
Marty, you're making a mess. Do this part
Well,
outside.
did that surprise you?
Look at Marty. Look at the floor. We're gonna get in trouble.
If we leave it.
We'll clean it up.
Okay. So with this, I mean, you can take. Oh, I did. You can take cuttings of house plants and stick them in here, and you can start those cuttings or clones in the Nano Dome.
So
We're-
it's like almost ready to go here.
It is ready to go.
It's ready. That's fast.
So we're going to start some Genevieve basil.
My favorite.
And you know there's no better value in food than growing your own.
So how soon can I have a salad with basil in it after you do this?
A month.
A month? That's exciting. February.
And look how many plants. Are you gonna hold me to that?
I will.
So we're gonna-
I'm gonna come check on it.
So you can, I mean, it doesn't take very many.
I might have to get my like readers out. They're so tiny.
I'm just twisting my fingers and putting. I say we're going to have 72 plants. We're going to have 72 cells with multiple plants in each one. And I mean, look, I haven't even used half the seed, and it's $1.99. How much is basil at the grocery store? I'm gonna go over it twice. And this is gonna be thick.
It's expensive. Especially in the quantity I'd like to eat.
My brother Wes sells, he has Ori's Farm Fresh, and they sell a lot of herb blends. They specialize in garlic. But he told Megan, and they grow all their own herbs themselves, and he told Megan, he said, I think we should just buy our dried herbs. And she says, there's no way we're going to do that because it's not the same. And like I say, I concur.
So you're just patting these guys in
I'm
there.
just putting them down a little, just a little bit. And then,
So I always wondered how people had enough basil to make pesto all the time. Because it takes a lot of basil to make pesto. This is how you do it, huh?
you think it takes a lot?
I do. I mean, a lot more than I always have, like, ready.
Have you ever, one thing Wes and Megan did too, they did carrot top basil.
Oh, they mixed
They
the
that
herb.
was the, instead of carrot top pesto instead of basil pesto.
Ah, I gotcha.
I've done rosemary.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was good.
But I never have enough of that either.
No, it takes a lot of those rosemary leaves are so tiny. That's another when I went into the greenhouse and trimmed the the rosemary plants.
So you gotta have a production here going, which we'll come back in a little while and check
Yeah,
on this.
we won't. But so then this goes on here, and then here's the electric cord. There's a on-off switch, and we'll need to water this. And the thing I like about the Sun Blaster is that you can control the humidity with the little doors on it.
So how often am I going to leave the light on? Do you leave it on during the day?
Turn it on when you get up and turn it off when you go to bed.
Okay.
Whether that's 6 to 9,
So that's
or if
easy.
it's 8 to it's not
It's not picky.
it's not picky. And, you know, right now it doesn't need any light because the seeds are underground. But one thing that helps is we have heat mats which go underneath the Nano Dome. Heats it up to about, I think, 72 degrees, and that consistent warm temperature is going to allow the seeds to start quicker. They grow faster. So they should germinate in, let's say, 5 days. It's humid in here. Let's say a week. So maybe a month is a little. Give me 5-6 weeks before we harvest it.
Okay.
Okay. Some other things that we have here in the store from Jiffy for starting seeds. It has a short dome, but again, it has 72 cells, but it has the Jiffy 7s. And Jiffy 7s, Leslie, you add water to this, and they swell up. They're 3/8 of an inch. They're going to swell up to an inch and a half each.
So no soil at all.
No soil.
No mess, Marty.
Well, I can make a mess because you have to add water to it.
Oh, okay.
But also, this one comes with Super Thrive, which is vitamins for seedlings.
Okay.
It's N-butyric acid. It's a rooting IBA. It's a rooting hormone. And then it has some stakes. This one, you add the water to it, and then in each one of those, you put a little bit of seed. And then you put that back on. Of course, you can grow the plants for longer with a Nano Dome than what you can with this system here. But
So when it's time to say pop it in the ground outside or put it in a pot, you just take that little plug and
Yes, you just plant that Jiffy
Plant that
7
plug.
directly into the ground.
Okay.
Or if you're doing herbs, you can do herbs in there. You can transplant it into a larger pot.
okay.
You can do the same with this system also. We have the in stock the Kansas State Gardening Guide from Kansas State University. It's $7. It has so much information here. There's 76,
That's my favorite part at the end
76 pages in it.
because it tells you when you're going to plant this stuff.
Right. I mentioned about starting cabbage. Once we're done here, cabbage is going to go into the ground mid-March, as is broccoli, endive, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts.
And that's for here, not some other
New Jersey
growing zone.
or
Yeah.
Florida. It's for Kansas. But there's so much information in here on pests, how to water, optimum pH ranges, soil improvement, planting a garden. So get one of those. We also have the Old Farmer's Almanac too for 2021.
Gonna be a better year.
Yeah. It was a
Has to
crazy
be.
year last year, but yeah, I mean, it was, yes, it's going to be a good year. So we've got smaller trays. It says 24 Jiffy 7s. This one has 12. We have pots by themselves. Peat pellets, Jiffy 7s by themselves. All different sizes of peat pots. We have actually 2 different types of media. We have grow lights like we've shown here. We have incandescent light bulbs. We have some high-powered light bulbs here for a larger area. We have seed starting kits with just the dome, the tray, and the 72s. We have trays by themselves. We have domes by themselves. We also have, the last thing I'll show you here, Leslie, is the Jump Start. If you're really wanting to grow a lot of plants, the Jump Start is a way to go. We have a heat mat that will fit underneath this. It's 4 foot long. It has the high-powered light. This one you can also put into series. You can have a big-time production going on in your house.
All the basil I can possibly.
All the basil, all the herbs that you could possibly want. And then it is adjustable, so you can put it down low to start with, and then raise it up.
As my plants get big.
Yep, as they grow.
Nice.
So anyway, come and see us at the garden centers. A lot of foliage plants, a lot of fun things, a lot of seed starting supplies. So thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you next time. And then we're going to show you how to make pesto with your own basil. How's that?
Sounds wonderful.
All right, see ya.